back in 1968, 10 million years ago. You see an old house that's actually falling down. Someone pulled his hand away and he goes, "Don't you dare touch me." The guy said, no, espérate, espérate, hold on. Before he knew it, he was getting up off the ground. So the house started creaking, and then there was a loud whoosh, and the floor collapsed down. The guy said, "It's done," and she disappeared. That was the scream. Okay, see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye, see you later. I try to be different when it comes to teaching. I do the board thing, and I do the drill and practice thing, and I do all this stuff, but the kids are bored with this. They need something more interesting. It used to be that when you taught a lesson, the kids would be riveted on what you're saying. Now it's if they're not entertained, they don't pay attention. So my telling the stories in a way is a reward for them.
He would like tell us stories, and like the next day, like we'll probably just work just because so he can tell us a story.
I know the fact that they understood it itself to me is a reward. But I want to reward them back. I want them to feel good about being in my class and make it fun.
Yeah, Mr. Rocha, he's pretty cool. He's like my favorite teacher around here because all my other teachers don't really help you out.
I think it's very important. Telling the story is very important. It's a little bit of history of the East Side. It's a little bit of history of Austin. And once I tell it to the students, they become part of it also. Because they can tell me their experiences after I tell the story, how it affected them. As far as my teaching style, I try to make it as relaxed as possible. I want the students' interaction. Them asking questions to me is not a problem. Them inserting a little comment here and there is not a problem. I want them to be part of it. That's my teaching style. I want it to be, I guess you would call it kinesthetic. I want everything to be moving back and forth.
Well, on the other classes, they don't put us in groups that much, and he lets us like all talk with each other and work in groups. I think it's better that way.
You know, I do develop a personal bond, and it always goes back to stories. You know the significance of the brown candles? Okay. According to some tradition, the witches make candles, and the way they do it is they dig up freshly buried bodies. When they saw this, they got real scared, and somebody said, "Vamos a hacer el rezo de las brujas. We're going to do the witches' exorcism." They started to say the prayers, and they would say the prayer, they tie a knot, say another prayer, tie a knot, and so on. And the wind started blowing. They heard the wind come up, and they looked around, all the way around the house. They saw like the shadow running. The last prayer, my uncle got the knot, made the knot. That's as far as he got.
Amen.
On the 13th of February, of March, this is where I'm going to be. And we'll see what happens. Anybody interested in going?
Right here. I'll go.
Anybody interested in going?
I'll go. After that one, last year semester, I already go.
We'll see.